Thursday night football is here. Another big weekend in college football. We break it all down right here on Football Takeover YouTube show. Let's go. Boy, it's good to be back with everybody. Welcome into Football Takeover YouTube show. I think this is episode 26. Cruising right along. I know it's been a little bit since I posted. Family was in town from LA, so had a chance to spend a lot of time with them, which was great. But now we're back on the grind. You gotta love that phrase, right? All right, we're gonna do a lot today on the show. We gotta pick three. A little later in the show, mainly Thursday night football on Amazon. We're gonna talk about that. Got a little put the film on, bro. Something that Utah did last week against USC that could be vital again against Oregon in Salt Lake City, the biggest matchup in college football. We got a what the coach was that. It's about sign stealing. Yeah, I know you've heard a lot about it. I'll tell you kind of my experience with it and kind of my thoughts on it, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But we got to do our cover three to kick off the show. We started number 3. See, I can count to 3 this time. Brock Purdy. Man, he did not look good in the second half against the Minnesota Vikings. Well, now I think we know why. It was a quarterback sneak, and as he was reaching forward, he got clocked right in the noggin. I mean, helmet to helmet, bang. Now, a lot of people are like, well, wait, helmet to helmet, that should have been a penalty. No, not in those type of situations. Now, I have plenty of quarterback sneak PTSD. I have seen a quarterback walk away with a concussion from a quarterback sneak, that being Tom Savage, back in 2016 at Tennessee in the final game of the season. So I've seen this happen before in those situations. And so it was a tush-push gone awry, I guess. But Purdy was like 2 for 6 with 2 interceptions over the last, I don't know how many quarter or so of that game after the quarterback sneak. Well, now we all know why. He had a concussion. He's in concussion protocol. He more than likely will not play Sunday against the Bengals. The rejuvenated Bengals going out to Santa Clara in a massive matchup. One that some thought could have been a Super Bowl back in 2021 if the Rams hadn't intervened. So Bengals, 49ers, Joe Burrow, and potentially Sam Darnold making his first start for the 49ers. I'm actually curious to see how Darnold does in that Shanahan offense. I think he's going to actually do pretty well. So there's number 3. Brock Purdy, concussion protocol, more than likely missing this weekend. Thursday night football is at number 2, Bills and Bucs. The Bucs get the mini bye after this week before they come to Houston, so dang it. Don't love seeing that, but is what it is. And the Bills are at home after taking an L last week up at Gillette. So I got to think that the Bills are going to be raring to go, but Bucs, sneaky. They're kind of sneaky hot. They should have won that game last week against the Falcons, but they kept stepping all over themselves. They make key plays defensively, but just offensively, just consistently not always there. So in my pick 3, I'll give you my thoughts further about Bills and Bucs, but that is tonight on Thursday night football. And number 1, well, I'm not going to spend too much time on number 1 because we're going to do a little what the coach was at about that, and that is the Michigan sign stealing scandal that continues. It was about this time last week where news broke that there could be something nefarious going on. It was Greg Schiano who recognized it before anyone else.
Back to you. Coach, 4 penalties for your team in the first half. Some that cost you. How do you clean that up in the second half?
Well, there's some stuff going on out there, so we just got to slow it down a little bit. There's some things going on that aren't right as well, so we'll talk about how to handle it.
Yeah, Schiano made his point at halftime that, okay, something's going on. I don't know if it was at that point that the Big Ten started looking at it. I don't know if Rutgers then said something to the Big Ten, if coaches have been saying something to the Big Ten all along, but that is when the name Connor Stallions became a name that we now know across all of college football, and probably not in a good way. So as we finish the cover 3, let's go to a little what the coach was that, because I kind of feel like there's, and I've seen a little bit of this on Twitter, so I'll give you my thoughts. I'll go back to the year 2000. We had a bye week, and we were about to face our biggest rival, a school called Bishop Kenny. And we had a bye week. They were playing, I believe it was Inglewood. And so we were going to take coaches out for a scouting event. We were going to go to that game for a half. And then we were going to go see my defense coordinator. His son played at a different school. And unfortunately, we needed his school to lose so that we could earn a piece of the district coach championship. So we were going to go watch that game for a half and then go to the weird second half of that game. Anyways, as we're there, because we're going to play Bishop Kenny the week after the bye, and we had never beaten him in school history, I felt like we had a good enough team to do it. And as we're there, and I gave everybody kind of a responsibility. And I said, okay, defense coordinator, Charlie, you watch the offense. I'm going through, you watch the defense. We're just kind of going through. And then I had this young coach from Johns Hopkins, smart dude, a cross player, really, really good coach, good dude, Jeff Manning. And I said, Jeff, I want you to watch the defensive coordinator on the sidelines and try and pick his signals. Played baseball for a long time. It's just part of baseball. Hadn't really thought about doing it in football, but I figured, you know what, if we get a little bit of an edge, why not? So we're at the game, we're scouting, and I said to Jeff at some point, how you feeling? He's like 22 years old, and he's like, I got him. I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, I got him. He goes, they're easy. It's like, okay. So we go the next week to play, and I said, Jeff, stay near me so that as you look across the field and you can see things, you can let me know. So I'll never forget one play we had a midline option called to the right. And so Jeff yells down or walks down so it doesn't say too loud. He says, Coach, you're running into the blitz. They're blitzing that side. And so I just whistled out and I said, Oscar, 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 meaning go opposite. So we were going to go, we called it Husker right. And that was our middle option to the right. So we just changed it. And we very rarely ran it to the weak side, but I just Oscared it. Well, they did. They blitzed off the left side. We ran to our left. They didn't have anybody there. And we ended up banging it for a big play. And we did that probably 2-3 times in the game. Now, here's the deal. Was going out and scouting illegal? In-person scouting? No. Was stealing the signs illegal? No. Did we film it in any capacity? No. All those things I mentioned are illegal as it pertains to college football, especially in the Big Ten. You're not allowed to go in-person scouting. You're not allowed to film any of the coaches with their signals, whether iPhone or, big, over-the-shoulder camera, whatever the case might be. Although sitting in the stands with that camera might be weird. Point being, you can't do all those things. Those things are illegal. So those are by the letter of the law. Whether you agree or not, they're illegal. And then you go a little bit further and you realize, okay, if those things are illegal, it was Stallions kind of running everything. But he seemed to have this gaggle of people that would go places. He would Venmo them money for going to various games and filming from the sidelines, bring that back, etc. And that's illegal. So I bring you to Watergate. We all know about Watergate. It wasn't the crime itself, and that was bad, but it was the cover-up, who said they didn't do it, who lied about it, and how high up did it go. And ultimately found out over the years that, yes, Richard Nixon, the president of the United States, did know about Watergate and ordered the code red, if you will. So what does Jim Harbaugh know? Now, he denied it last week and said, well, I had no knowledge of it. But I'd like to ask you, a major college football program, what does the head coach not know? Especially a line item in his budget. A, what does Operation Film the Other Team from the Sidelines? What's this? Oh, that's just something that our GA is doing. Wait, what? Oh, that's our student assistant, or that's this assistant. Wait, hold on. Repeat that to me. If I'm a head coach, those are the questions I'm asking. If he all of a sudden just goes, yeah, whatever, then they got major issues beyond that. But the flip side of that is, did he know? Then you've got even more major issues with that. All because the rules are what they are. I'm not saying whether sign stealing, the way they were doing it, all that. The way they were doing it and how they were doing it, illegal. Completely illegal. Now, here comes the big question of, how important is it? Really, how big of an issue is it? Well, if, again, we go back to, you're starting to cover it up, Harbaugh is lying, saying, oh, he didn't know about it, but he did. I'm not saying he did or didn't. I'm just saying if he did lie about it or is lying about it, well, then you've got maybe bigger issues. So to me, this feels a lot like Watergate on a college football side. How high up does this go? Because what they did, there's no question, is illegal. You can argue the level of illegality, but it's illegal. And it was kept under wraps. And is the Michigan staff and coaches, are they lying about this? And therein lies the probably bigger issue. Now, does it impact 2023? Well, the way the NCAA works, probably not, but you never know. So we'll keep an eye on that. But it's just been an interesting story, especially because I can kind of speak to this one, having stolen signs before. But I can tell you, nothing that I did and nothing that we did was illegal in any way, shape, or form. That was all allowed. We could go in-person scout. We didn't film anybody. It's right there for everybody to see. We saw it. We used it, and it helped us. So, yeah, sign stealing is legit, and it's something that's been going on in college football for a long, long time. Long time. It's just this was taking it from war games, or I'll put it this way, from Pong, remember Pong, you know, the little video game, to Madden 24. If you saw Pong, you see Madden 24, this is sign stealing. Madden 24 is, whoa. And that's kind of what Michigan seemingly was engaged in. So there you go. What the coach was that? Thoughts on sign stealing. All right, let's put the film on, bro. This is a big game last week, and it's a team that's going to be featured in a big game this week. That is Utah. The Utah Utes did a really nice job using former safety, or I guess current safety, turned running back Sione Vake on wheel routes against USC. They used it against Cal, didn't hit it. They used it against USC, and Vake ended up being a receiving star. That will be big against the Oregon Ducks this weekend. Let's go put the film on, bro. Utah's passing game, riding the wheel, baby. Yes, sir. It's time to put the film on, bro, for the Utah Utes. Got a big one this weekend against Oregon. Now, the Utah offense isn't really known for being a high-scoring bunch, especially without Dalton Kincaid from last year, without Cam Rising. They've been making do, but they put up 34 against USC, and one of the things they ended up doing, and this kind of goes back to the creativity of a coaching staff. Andy Ludwig trying to find a way to get the ball down the field. What do you do? And sometimes you stumble upon something like UCLA did a number of years ago with Miles Jack. Miles Jack, linebacker, stud athlete. UCLA struggling to run the ball. They put Miles Jack at running back, and all of a sudden, whoa, this offense is kind of nice with a linebacker playing running back. Well, same kind of thing here with Utah. They're going to put Sione Vake right here. He's a safety for the Utah Utes, but they've had some issues at running back. Jaquindon Jackson's been banged up a little bit, and so they needed a little something different out of their running game, and they found it looking at the other side of the ball. Now, Vake is one of the best athletes in college football. He was one of Bruce Feldman's freaks, and Utah takes advantage of that right away in the game. They got the ball here about the minus 46, minus 47, and they're going to come out here in what I call wide tripes. Tight end here. There you see something right there. Wing and condensed. So it's condensed wide, tripes open. So you got a wide receiver here. USC is going to play man coverage to this. This is playing right into Utah's hands because of what they want to do with Vake in the backfield. Now they ran this, it felt like a million times against USA, and they just kept killing him with it. They'd run it the week before against Cal, and they didn't hit it. And I remember seeing that thinking, that's something I like. I wonder if they can hit that. Well, they hit it a number of times against USC. Why? Well, this condensed set with two tight ends with 12 personnel and a linebacker at running back, you're thinking it's run. Look, there are 11 Trojans within 8 yards of the line of scrimmage. So what does Utah do? They run Vake on the wheel route. Now, the way that USC is going to match in man coverage here, they're going to take the safety right there, Bullock, and he's going to end up taking the wing, okay? So he takes the wing. The tight end that's coming across right here, the safety here is going to jump down on that. So they're going to play 0, okay, and only bring 5, all right? So what ends up happening is Mason Cobb, 13, gets kind of caught in the wash here. Now, I don't know if he's got the running back or I don't know what they're doing. But I do know that they're trying to play some man coverage. And in playing that man coverage, you could see here that 34, the outside linebacker, is going to run a peel technique. So he's going to peel. So as this running back goes to the flat, he's going to peel out, and that's all of a sudden magic to Bryson Barnes' eyes. He is going to drop, and when he sees that, he's like, I got this. This is one of my fastest guys on the team against an outside linebacker trying to peel, and he's got a head start already. This is perfect. Now, I just got to put the ball in. I'm looking at the separation that Vaki is getting each and every step. Barnes has just got to throw it out there, and he's got all this field out here. Now, it's just a matter of, does Vaki have the hands, the adjustment? Is he going to catch it in the shadows? He's got 3 yards. Now, watch how he pulls away. See, they're close because he had to slow down a little bit for the ball, but watch him pull away. That dude can fly. I would imagine that Oregon has worked on this all week long and for good reason. Vaki's a problem when he's riding the wheel, and Oregon better be ready for it or they're going to get burned just like USC did. All right, let's get to our pick three that I like for tonight. It's actually Thursday Night Football, so let's go with this. Number 1, straight up, Bills going to win. Bills going back home, they're going to win. Spread's 8.5. I think the Bucs are going to cover. I think the Bills are going to be happy just to get a win. Short week. You got to do what you got to do just to get the win. So I'm going Bills to win. Bucs will keep it close enough to get inside that 8.5. Number 2, over-under passing touchdowns. The prop for Josh Allen is 1.5. I'm going to go over that. I feel like playing at home, coming back off the Gillette performance, or the performance at Gillette, I think the Bills are going to have a little something. For the Bucs, I think they'll get in the end zone a number of times. I think Josh will account for 2 of those through the air. That will give me an over on passing touchdown prop for Josh Allen. I'm also going over Baker Mayfield passing yards. Now, he's averaging about 227. The prop is 228.5. Now, I'm going over because I think the Bills' pass defense is okay. I think the Bucs' pass protection is okay. But I think the Bucs are going to get behind in this game a little bit, and they're going to have to throw to get back in it. And I do think they'll hit a big play. I think Mike Evans can end up being that guy. So I'm going to go over the 228.5. That's his passing prop. And I think they'll be behind for a significant amount of time, too. And in so doing, going over makes more sense to get 228.5. Again, it's just the passing prop. It's, like I said, I think the Bucs will get inside the number. Bills will win. So Bills got to win. They need Josh Allen's 2 touchdown passes. The Bucs staying within 8.5. They're going to need Baker Mayfield's over 228.5 yards through the air. So all of these are kind of interconnected. So if the Bucs end up winning, they may not need Baker Mayfield's 228.5 passing yards. And then if they beat the Bills, then the Bills probably haven't gotten 2 touchdowns. So I'm kind of putting them all kind of in line with one another. If one goes wrong, they all go wrong. If one goes right, then, well, hopefully all 3 will go right. And we'll be winners on all 3 tonight. On Thursday Night Football, Bucs and Bills. You got a few college games going on Thursday night. You got Syracuse taking on Virginia Tech. You got Georgia State, Georgia Southern. I know that game doesn't sound as sexy, but both teams are really good. 6-1 Georgia State, 5-2 Georgia Southern. I got picks for those games. I got write-ups on Utah, Oregon. Got all that at footballtakeover.com. Small subscription price, not changing it. $29.99 for the year, $2.99 per month. And that covers you for an entire year. That gets all my draft stuff, everything that's coming up with the draft. Everything I put on that site is all free. All the archived stuff, all my Ultimate 11s, $2.99 a month. You can't get a coffee for $2.99 a month. I'm giving you that. So come on, join footballtakeover.com, join the community. A lot of stuff going on. And look, it's really my first year of doing it this way. So we're going to continue to grow it, do it. We're going to have more events for subscribers and those things as we move forward. So that's what we want to do. So come join footballtakeover.com. Join me and everybody else that's part of it. Make Brett, Willie, Scott all happy that they were investors in this company and make it what it should be. But I appreciate you guys for watching the show. We'll see you next time.